Tango do Jero Zonro, Jinjamado do Jabonjamba, Sergio Lombo, the Verjibek, Shija Buja Dongo Zonzo, Norjan Janja, the Lonaroda, Mabamala, Jija Gampopa, Pamodra, Javandogum. Kajulama Nanja Dojo Donandana Zara Damja Do Lama Labala Jizazon Lazon Jamzong Ala Tinde Dunjan Bagala Zoi Dunjan Zavala Maji Guzon do Jazila Dada Daga Julam Beta Daga Damba Danson Jajado Jajimon Reversion Jala Zo Tangabate Riva Koto Somala Nyamli Majena Deepo Chujinkin and Chava Yin so. Tandikaps Koto Soma Shibate Karina Sunga Yuri Hibayana Penangaran so Gom Japacaps Lote Zenaring around the same day Duchak Maleba Shedang Maleba Demok Maleba. Teta Tosung Maleba Capte Lote, Takoto Somazina de Chad Yoruba. Tate Tabu Capche Lote, Juntune, Nyamli Manang Baina, the Nyamsu Zamchi, and Danke Yomaris, Muntune, the Yajetane, the Nango Yorison. The Ramazin, the There's a Koto of this you debatamle, Tenisimju Tortugamari so.
Garete Sayuna Sim Domituba
Koto do Nyamyon Koto da Nyamyon Timber Yona Yang, that the Junjong Watana take a Kirapin Tomarwa.
Tini di yang ko yapo koma song indicate la yang kapo do de koya kapo re de chu jukin de dang chu depo chu jukin gituna garena le lo chen do chik bare be
Tata lapsan ju jombo ju term taba ju germ
oh ju do matuma. So then number 5, here it says, after understanding the Dharma and nature of awakening, if it is not practiced, one becomes a lazy religious practitioner. It is a deviation. So another way that this might maybe could be worded is, if fresh understanding and realization is not practiced, then one can deviate into not actually being one who can actually tame the mind, something sort of like this. So at the time of meditation, so to explain this word, actually in Tibetan it's goto soma, which I would translate as fresh understanding and realization. And what is being referred to here is, for instance, it is the mind that in the practice does not allow for one to fall or for desire to arise. It doesn't allow for anger to arise. It doesn't allow for ignorance to arise. So it is the mind that is actually making it so that the 3 poisons do not take over. And so this is what is meant by practicing with fresh realization and understanding. And so therefore, that kind of a practice, that as the essence of the practice, has to be sustained with continuity and unbroken continuity. If one has some experience of this and one has practiced in that way to some extent, but then kind of the freshness of the practice degenerates and one is no longer maintaining that aspect of the practice, then one falls into, even though one may be practicing or going through the motions of practicing, one falls into a type of practice that doesn't actually serve to directly tame the mind.
Da kandar semla nyamnyong ro tes jiba te jun jong go yoris. Jun ma jang na tene ngarang chu do chin je gang la tene chotek pa sa ba na yi tene lamsang kam ro yor yan ro yor wa. Te yin chang tene chi nyamnyong ro tes jenyong yo de ba je la nyamnyong ro tes jenyong yo ba la men tu ne jun ma jong ba la tene tene da simju den thakbo ranja de yor ngi ma na yi.
So if someone, engages in some practice and gives rise to a little bit of experience and realization, but does not sustain this aspect of practice, then eventually the result is that one becomes like a stone in which if a drop of water falls on a stone, it just immediately dries up. And so this practice in which the mind is being that serves to actually tame the mind has to be continuously maintained in a continuum and an unbroken continuity. And otherwise, if it is not sustained in that way, then the mind stream becomes hardened like before.
Tene tropa te tab ninji chimbo la lo majang na lam tikpa min paran chwa yin so. Ta ninji te tab ninji korte chame ha ko yore ina ninji chimbo zon de tel ko yore. Ninji chimbo sewa te tene so tang so ke che tropo tromo dan nam Te zamla ninji jewa mayenba, suso ke che tan himela ninji jewa zam mayenba, ta yebe simjin tamje la, gandar ninji tse me ba. Zambalende gala, simjin tse me ba yin, ta yeba yindu, tela ninji je yindu, susu ninji deang, nangkwa nang yin, ta me ba chan ro yores. Ten di chan ninji chimbo ho ser tabo yore. Ten labar de ninji hiba de, toni ninji nimbo jinsi. Oni the song the driven ninja go yore. Te na ta ninja tse de dimba cha de yore. Tenda ma yin ba yina, tene so dan reyu tamje detang jibo la tene mengne ninja jiang na, tene yang tikpa min ba lan chorok lam cha ro yore.
So then it says, if one doesn't train in great compassion, one can deviate into the lesser path or the path of Hinayana. And so of course, everyone can identify with, or everyone has some degree of compassion. So this isn't just referring to compassion alone, but this is referring to the development of great compassion. So great compassion is not limited to only, one's loved ones or friends, one's, boyfriend or girlfriend, one's cat and dog. But the great compassion is a compassion which is really immeasurably vast and extensive, a compassion compassion that is extended to all sentient beings, like space that is vast like the sky, or vast like a space without limit. And then it really becomes truly immeasurable compassion. And then that then develops into actually the view of emptiness, which is naturally pervaded by great compassion. If that kind of compassion that is not developed, then it is possible that one is limited by deviating into, and one's compassion falls into sort of a limited level, deviating into the path of the lesser vehicle.
다 티바 체총 산두 조반 직딘 송공게 공제라 공제난도 티바 체총 심지 체송요레 장초그 셈다 닌지 침보 된다요나 저런 사자 가와 집그 뭐지 이나야 티바 침보레 저런라 장초그 셈다 닌지 침보 메나 대 저런 사자 가와지 출로 간다 있나양 다 출로 간다 있나세 다 간다를 닌지 침보다 데 장초그 셈데 메나 데 티바 멤버 세리마도게 제 대하고고 저 가르침보레
So as Lord Jigten Sumgun says in the Gongchik, that which distinguishes or illustrates the difference between the greater and lesser vehicle is the presence or absence of bodhicitta. So the difference between the Hinayana and Mahayana is bodhicitta. And so if there is a bodhicitta, if there is this great compassion and bodhicitta, then wherever one is, so whatever sort of view one subscribes to, one is practicing according to the great vehicle, or one is someone who possesses bodhicitta, the Mahayana level bodhicitta. And then if one lacks bodhicitta and really great compassion, then wherever one goes and whatever view or tradition that one subscribes to, one is a practitioner of the lesser vehicle, or one lacks then the bodhicitta of the great vehicle, or Mahayana.
야 다다 소소라 소소가 나마당 치에다 힘을 담지 강은 닌지 요바데 오 닌지 충충 인사리 다땡아 고험도 드남 지년 말이더니 저런 논도요레 대소 짜침보리 닌지 충충니 야 름베름 베제고요레 대소니 로장고요레
So in hearing that, if one then sort of thinks, love and compassion for my family or my pets, my dog and cat, are really kind of just small, sort of insignificant compassion, level of compassion. So this isn't necessary or isn't needed. Then actually one shouldn't think like that. Also, this type of compassion, love and compassion, is also very precious and also very important to maintain. It should only be expanded upon. So that kind of compassion then develops and grows in progressive stages, eventually becoming a really vast compassion. So it is important not to reject that type of compassion, thinking that it is somehow insignificant.
tene hirap tomba ni la lo majang na jizen khobo lam de chowa yinsong da kantar tomba ni ke tsisin labdo dara lalin sobdu na hirap mena tene yin parar de simbanga pote chi bol ten sanje ko ma thog mari song yorwa de yindo Gampopa ke chowa yi hi sun chawar jinje lo se 담보 로 추선로 Then lo choose song jimba de try ishi sun chabar sinjula, so the ishi sun chargona hirab la rale de Yorova. O tanda gore mato ke je then jitin de ke je susoketa o nga tsutram number tapa kanza jin sam then tsutram de lomsam jin o tanda jeba ina then de samke sanje kompang tawya jolon ro sanje kompang top to mari so kandar jolon ro yo mari la mari da sanje kompang top to mari de zang de then jimba ro ji tang ne yang mimi ke ngove jien da parsa so mimi ke ngove je tap so aina ti ngwa de kit latin sanje komba thap thaba de mai na che yang danjin de je bu gon hu jimba la so ba tang ngwa je ba ina labar de jimba ta so ta ma ina de ni yang de so ji sen da la je pam jur chimbo tang de ni yang je wa yin de lo la so ba ke je wa len ya Tada zamla madoke sanje chik goma tomataba tada song yorwa.
So dagzin dang.
Danzin darsona. Danzin darsona kantar ko kowan din ang ko te stan tori dangin song mam to yore te sola as ji walen do gri mato sanje to mari song do.
Gong tati lu chewa lenia ki ju gareyore?
Nga tsu jimba tang rwa jimba. Jimba tang teni dami to hira gutsi ma jimba ina. Teni jimba tang de jipo te ke yang susu lo la ja de lo mang ngara lo de mangbo ji de ju chimbo ji rin do lo la ya de ju chimbo lo la ya de darang arang zu jure dang rumbo ji de so chapchang nga zu lo yo le yo re la ba lo ke da bo ja yo re la ba
That's all. So dini ngoa chi dagzin dang dawa yana dini de me dang la chewa limbegi ju cha dawa
mare dami to hira gutsi sina sanje to garis nga cha gewa kang dra ina danjin dan der sona teni korban nang kem pusom chop puncho korban pucho gu jolan jon garis.
Okay. So then the next one is if one doesn't train in the wisdom of emptiness, whatever one does can become the cause to deviate into samsaric paths. So the wisdom that realizes emptiness is so crucial. As it says in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, without wisdom, the practicing the other 5 perfections or the other 5 paramitas will not lead to realizing the state of Buddhahood. And so also, as Gampopa says in the 4 Dharmas, he says, grant your blessings that confusion may dawn as wisdom. So in order for confusion to dawn as wisdom, this is dependent upon generating the wisdom of emptiness. So this is what is meant by that. And so that is the necessary sort of final step. Without that, even if one thinks of oneself as a practitioner who is really focused or whose sort of style or method is to practice pure discipline, and if one becomes really sort of almost prideful with regard to the purity of one's discipline, that alone will not lead to attaining enlightenment or reaching fully perfected Buddhahood. So likewise, when making the dedication must be sealed with non-referentiality. So it must be like the non-conceptual dedication, which is made from within the view of emptiness, in order for it to result in Buddhahood, or to carry the to lead to the state of Buddhahood. When the dedication is mixed with self-clinging instead of the view or the wisdom that realizes emptiness, then it goes toward the abundance of, or it can become causes that lead to abundance and wealth within samsara. And when one practices generosity, ideally, if the generosity is one that realizes the wisdom of emptiness, again, then this becomes the cause for Buddhahood. But when generosity is made still with the mind of self-grasping, then it can even lead to rebirth as a Naga. There are some Nagas who have a great deal of wealth. There are certain realms of Nagas where there's a lot of precious jewels, such as coral and turquoise and so forth.
다양 소소게 다다 받는 짐바 땅이 뭐지 다투소 참아 상제라 개발은 로사마리 된 주바제인 거 요마레 주랑 다다 하고 호다 서도 뭐지나 짐바 땅나 히라고 찌신 거 요바 다다랑 하고 근데 되니 다 참아양 야 제조글로 상제 토비아게 줘라 뭐 저거 요리 짐바서 참아데 그 소남라 야 저거 요리 가인스나 강라 동반이 롱와시 가인스나 주탐 동반이인지 텔라 탐지 롱와이 송 텔라 테네 나랑 저게 대한 개와 흥이어서 탐지 베나 미바데 제부건 흥이요나 다 미바 미바게 지심부터네 양호 저거 요리 주바 제닌 거 요마레 테네 개와도 참아 소소게 양야 산지 토비아게 줄랍상 줄탑고 요리
So you shouldn't feel discouraged thinking, oh, you know, all of the generosity and dedications that I have made probably then won't result in Buddhahood. But from, you know, maybe this point of the importance of making a dedication or practicing generosity within the state that realizes the wisdom of selflessness, if perhaps that wasn't fully understood. But now, if you understand, then you can just adjust the way in which you do dedication. We can actually shift that merit or transform that merit so that it does actually become the cause for Buddhahood. As is said, since everything is emptiness, anything is possible, everything is workable, everything can be transformed. And so even if dedications generally in the past have been made within, you know, with a reference point or within, you know, kind of with an object of a focus or within the state of referentiality, then one can start to make dedications in a non-referential way or a non-conceptual, make effort in the non-conceptual dedication. And then immediately or very instantly, then it can become the cause for Buddhahood. It can be transformed into the cause of Buddhahood.
Hiragutsi Simbatoni Hoa Chidante Perna Nas Da de Ran Yinch Madraba. Tingek Timeto the Magic Take Unity Meto Deang or Ran Yinch Madraba. Then it takes a Mateang Ran Yinch Madraba, Tandaha go Tony, go your cantar in Zimba Mepatone.
So the way to practice generosity from the perspective or with the presence of wisdom, the wisdom that realizes the truth of selflessness, is done in such a way that one is aware that oneself lacks true existence. Likewise, the object that is being given, so for instance, if you are giving someone a flower, then the flower also lacks true existence. And it is done with the understanding that the person that you are giving the flower to also lacks true existence. And so this is an example of generosity that is done from within a state of wisdom.
Then Tambo Soso Nanzin, you all ne, Tameto the Matilate San, the Zimba Chimbo Hosuna, that in Yomara, Dodo de Sunkura. Ta o ngak meto the Mayimbala Tain San Soso and Zimba Chimbo, Nanzin Chimbo, the meto de la Danzi Chimbo Tikani, Dini, David Jimbatana, Dini, Danzin Chandora.
On the other hand, if the example of giving, practicing generosity with self-clinging, would be thinking like, oh, I gave this flower to that person, and there's kind of great fixation in that, then that is an example of generosity made with strong clinging. So it is made with a strong self-grasping, and grasping to the flower, and grasping to the act of generosity itself.
Oh yeah, then it jebat. Jiktin chubje jingo manyamna, jibji jiktin jin dun chorwa yin song. Then jiktin chujebo kan but the gun husimbare. Then tango nyom zendua, debo jiborina, gadewata, medewata, tangin batun, magawa, tanda gets chadang hukchimbo choma somba, garchimbore, then tada chonsoina. Tani yang ko jitin chubjes jitin keta jini de jondo gri songre tad ta ngarang chu chi jitin de gala che de tam de tani daso chama tamje soso ke samno ke ton sam don dang ke ton ra le yong yoro den du te jitin chubje ngo nyom bar si bala ngarang zo tambo ta nyom le lo jang go yore ya chaja chimbo la so bu chuke thombo je so na rojik de so song na song ko yore te tambo ngarang zo ta nyom la lo jang go yore de do ranyam cha tu me jong de ranyam ke samno ta Nacha Tamana Vala Soboket Capsayang, Susuzobot, Tanyum Zana, Tamebaten, Tanyum ni Alo Jangoyori.
So then number 8 says, if one does not overcome the 8 worldly concerns, and actually the word for overcome is sort of literally, if one does not suppress the head of the 8 worldly concerns, whatever one does can cause one to deviate into worldly conditions. And so what is to be overcome here is the attachment to the 8 worldly concerns, such as, if I'm happy, if there's pleasure, I like this. If there's displeasure, or if I'm unhappy, I don't like that. Or that which is pleasant, I like. That which is unpleasant, I don't like. And when there's strong grasping around this, then it continues to generate the 8 worldly concerns, the conditions, and it becomes whatever one does, then further creates the conditions of the 8 worldly concerns. And so to counteract this, it is important to equalize the states of like and dislike, or pleasant and unpleasant. And so this is all really dependent upon the way, the attitude of the mind, the way that we choose to think about it. And so sometimes we think of, meditating on equanimity as, a very sort of high level, like establishing equal taste. But actually, this is something that can be trained in, and is important to train on from the beginning. So first, we equalize in any given situation, work to equalize the reactions to pleasant and unpleasant. When we are experiencing particularly unpleasant situations or conditions such as illness, to practice equanimity, to practice regarding the experiences of pleasant and unpleasant as equanimous, or regarding them equally, and to train in this way.
Chirtang around Chucho Nanayam Tanyum Sowa Tanyum Hyokjia Jin the Ganga Yunga Yore. The Ne Shanti Devak Sungre Zere Jin La Nuba Mangso. The Zere the Des Chirit and Hugh that Nikachimpo Robochik Sowa Jin the Matelatin Nuba Manga Yori Sonra. Nuba Mau Junsin Garland, Nuba Junze, the Nu Chimbo Jin Tavayora.
Gongtati Shanti Deva Sungdi Yangcha Seri China Sena?
Sensitive Lamar Indicala.
Oh, sensitive. Okay. Seri Chin La Nuba Mang or Kable Mang?
Nuba Mao Jinsin, Nuba Chung Chung Jig call no Chimpo Jitoyora. Take Chung Chung Jig the thing they cost some porn of your semla. Then
So it's really, generally speaking, it's really useful to develop a sense of equanimity, or to equalize reactions to like and dislike, or pleasant and unpleasant. Otherwise, we become extremely sensitive, and that creates more difficulty. As Shantideva says, for one who is very sensitive, there is much harm or difficulty. And so that is that even a small thing, it can become something really huge, something that actually causes a lot of unnecessary anguish and suffering. For those who are really sensitive, who then even just a small thing, as one small word can end up causing one a lot of harm. Or a lot of suffering unnecessarily.
Oh yeah. Then go back. Trumpu Jewo Ye Dendu Mana Mana Gosong to Chua Inso. Tachatang Jitin Batam Jekison, Jitin Batanjek, Deba and Hugh Ya, Zachimbo, Hugh Zet and Randa Chidi. Then Kalek Koran to Mosong of a chat, Chubatam Jek, Koran to Mosong of a chat. The eye on the Tini part to so teleconuris in Jitin, but the song also matabsal. And then the Gampopa Babe Nyamlin the Huerada Konambaya, Nevi Balion and Yamlin on the Jicti Moto Mambonda Mambo Terin, there's a Tok Sunku Yojova.
Conta not Tessa Sam Tessa Yapo Mayamba Chaki Tene Tessa Kali Sungo Sare Tene young char Chick Sungolan Shira Yapokotu Mason.
Oh yeah. Gubatrata Jictin Batamche Tepa and Ya Zachimbo Zetanachi. Tenis Soso Gale Gala Din Soso la Tepa and Jonkin to so Ngosong Lam Hakoson. The solar Dun Shitin, the solar Garegadana Teche, the one that was a chandoti. Teni Galegala Soso Gachungan Yamichi at the land royal. Teni the sort and doing matan the land royal payin. Pata the Nachichun of Chin, the who's of Dano. Daylight. Yimba the Tamalan and the Sang it at similar Dimba Gonda.
So then number 8 says
Goodbye.
No, sorry, number 9. If one has too much attachment and interest to one's household article, and one's town, he always works to please people and follow his way. It is a deviation. So I think actually, this might have a kind of different meaning in the Tibetan, but it sounds like then if one kind of has faith in someone who actually has a great deal of worldly concerns, but comports oneself as a Dharma practitioner, eventually, even though at first the sort of real intentions or sort of the reality of the fascination or the focus on the 8 worldly concerns is not recognized, eventually it will be recognized. So one slowly, the real kind of intents or objective of that person starts to really manifest or become really evident. And even though they may comport themselves as a practitioner, their real objective becomes pretty obvious.
Think about it. Yung tin dan nun te chela lo medina mana ke troncho ke de chroin so. Ta so so la yung tin ro ya po yo de ne yung tin to so ta tam bi chu ke yung tin. Be nan chan ni drum ro je je cham ni ba ro sa ne tan ra jen de nu ba ro te su yu ba te. Ta te ya so so ke nyam to pa ya compare cham ni je ya compare ta ya chi de ma dang wa che. Tene ma tromba na no ne tene che hian che dongfa ro ji dong ne nga ro ji dong ne tene trongcho ro che de ba ina ten ten de ge yo ma ri song ya
Tene young sir, there's a kind of Enchikela de Shara de ni Yapo tree or somebody, the ni Chirang Sung Badang, Yiki he test Chapar Sare, he test a Mangsa Narangi.
Nekubate chik John Zagorot, na Pachete, as te to suit the test, take the window. Rehogo Sipa Jela.
Dini young church Chanang Sumpati, there's a young Charlotta.
That's also been a tree Ambassador Chula Lobjong Jie, the knee Choga Choga challenge so Dan San Hin Rep so Yabo Jene, 제 뒤에는 소소 누반도 돼서 여러 누반도 돼 다소 소게 냠다 또봐 잠니제야 컴퍼ton야 라 비주 마타와 지네 마 트론처는 용네 되는 안도 동 되는 단라지는 지인라 제 초간도 진동로 제네 되는 단라 파트론초 진다 된다도 왔다 단라 닌가 말이소.
So. So number 10 says, when one has knowledge and spiritual power, but an unstable mind and always follows the path shown by ordinary priests for the rituals, it is a deviation. So the way that Kimbola described this is that if one has engaged in some study and practice and might be somewhat skilled in like sadhana and ritual, and one thinks, that maybe one has developed some qualities, but instead of sort of, if one then prematurely sort of goes into, seeks out sort of public places and goes and beats one's drum and does recitations and sort of performs one's, practice, for others, without instead increasing, causing one's own experience and realization to increase further, then this is a deviation. And so, however, if, for instance, one is motivated to do these things out of love and compassion, if one is really focused on benefiting others, then that's okay. But if one is really only focused on oneself, then this indicates that one lacks stability in practice. And so if, in other words, if it lacks, if one's motivation lacks bodhicitta, or really lacks the wish to benefit others, and really, by doing practices and recitations and so forth publicly for others is really actually more out of self-interest, then this is what is not okay.
Then deba dang duba la norsa yuso. Ta deba hiba de yorkoma sanje da jancho samba lama gewishini la subake teni go song tok sapar de tok jamje la sub yongti to so la me ne dal deba la ri teni yang duba hiba de soso ke ro ganza la suba tamje ke che to so la tin ne yang soso duba yor deba den duba de so norsa yor da norni ke mari sung ro.
So then this completes the 10 deviations. So then the next section are the 10 confusions to be identified. So the first is confusion occurs between faith and desire. So identify them. So when there is faith, the object of our faith, or of real faith, are the qualities that are expressed, through by the realized masters and teachers, the great and practitioners of the past, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the qualities of their enlightened body, speech, and mind. And so when that is the object of focus, then it is faith. When there is faith towards the enlightened qualities of body, speech, and mind, then that is pure faith or true faith. But when actually it of a sort of desire to be near like a companion or friend or a sort of seeming faith that is more directed to sometimes the affection and love towards one's loved ones and friends or family members, which is actually mixed with attachment, can become easily confused for love and compassion.
난데치 추랑알 고혼도 송장아 추랑은 샤자한도 선만다오다 추랑아 그 조보다 나무리 송장아 추랑은 닝젠도 대답을 많이 봐 추랑 심진 임바다 심진 이베차네 코아 동아지 잠선은 유베차네 되는 닝지제 잠바지나 되는 소주 조보다 나무이나 양 그 따라 잠닝제 대 잠닝제 세딘 차도요.
So the way to sort of untangle these is that, so for instance, if there's the attitude of like, oh, you're, I need something from you. I also, want to get something from you. So therefore I have like affectionate feelings towards you. Or, oh, you are my friend and or family member. And so therefore I have love for you. Instead, with regard to the ones, even one's friends or family members, it is not because they are a friend or family member that I have love for you, but because you are a sentient being. Because as a sentient being, I have love and compassion for you, and so that is the way to sort of correct that attitude.
Tene sumbate hibze hije tongba dang luje je tongba la norsa yo song. Nan de hibze hige tongba hibate kazang ge gang hiba nan yin ma ju nyung mar yaba se ko ran yin ge ko tongba re de wa tan ra ka thon ni yong go ge ma do ge nga zran so lo ge tongba ni tin lan ba ne tene ha ko ya tong ni je yo ra te 돈이 제당때 첸 토모리데 이나야 첸 토규도 차요 말이고 단데 가서 체 토규도 돌아 더히
캠포 공타 데 체송 가양 코요 말에 데 로글레 체송
선바데 이거 선바데 히브자 히제 동바당 르제제 동바라 노사요송 히그 동바 주디당 아랑 저 추그 네로케 낭네 코 동니 리더와 티 동니 대당 아랑 저 로케 파치 동니 띵라 판네 베나 동바니리 짐신 간선 데리 세네 데니 띵라 파데바 그 동니 지 여러와 데니 논로 사요레 소네 간세나 तारा लोग तीन लंबा तोनी तीन लंबा या के तोनी जी योरवा ते आं चटां तोनी रे तेनी हिज को ने लोग के कुरान तोनी ते तोनी रे ते कुरान नि मंडा से करे योरिसिना ngaran so gom ja du ma ju lukpor yopa ma ju nyung mar yakpa zo da te go yore ma do ke log tin la pa de toni te tsang ke teni chen to shu ke toni de to yo mares tenza teni na norsa yores si po chama sai
저랑 데 패치나 와서 보여줘요 말에
가래 차서
저랑 승바데 고성데 이kon데 NGK기 얘기 데 타타트요 말에 이내 안케면도
네 라비아 존 자이가 파체 nga kten dai du sa nga pe cha yin ba te ba yimbandahi mambola te
Re ha ko song the NGK the la sam nga the duto yorwa the dang ko tha the te sa so the ne the nga chu pechu chewa the pache nor the norwa mambo ota mambo yorwa the yige rang nga NGK la. So number 3 says confusion occurs between the emptiness of the nature of all and the emptiness of the human intellect. So identify them. So the way this is written is a little bit confusing, but what the way that Khenpo describes it is that, which is clearer. So there's the emptiness of the ground, the emptiness of the true nature. And then there is the emptiness which is analyzed through the intellect, that one gives rise to certainty in emptiness based on analytic analysis and examination. And then one develops a certainty with regard to the nature of emptiness through the investigation of the mind, the investigating mind. And so these two types of emptiness can get confused. But the emptiness that one develops a certainty, or that is arrived at through investigation, that one the investigating mind developing certainty with respect to emptiness, and the empty ground nature, or the emptiness of the true nature, the ground itself, and the true nature, emptiness, is discovered through meditation. It is through relaxing into the ground awareness, allowing the mind to naturally settle into itself, allowing awareness to drop into itself, and that is sometimes confused with the emptiness that is encountered through examination or intellectual investigation.
Date kotin betan thona mada ndo pena chaja chimba gapsa jiang mesem labde chula tu song do te dang ngarang zo ke tin lam bamne tani o toni im jimsin tane lo mambo tin lam bamne tani ha ko yo ma tani ko ha ko tang da ha yo ma ba.
So there is a difference with regard to the approach. So for instance, in practicing Mahamudra, one drops all investigation or analysis without thinking anything. The mind naturally rests, and one develops a certainty with regard to the direct experience through what is seen directly. And this is different from the experience or the way in which one develops understanding of emptiness, or one sort of arrives at a sense of certainty through the doors of investigation or examination, intellectual analysis and examination.
Tatang aranzo gom jan de chepar kare yong ko yore pen tang zo tin khan ro zhen ro da jan de tambong go de dung go ro ji zo go don be zhen ro ji zo jian ro ji to ni pa mi pa de go do teni tang zo ji da de pa yiren yin de teni korang sem de ramap se ma ya go do ti ramam se ya yu ti ne kap de gom de chedin cha do yong ma do tang bo tang zo gang ja de so sun be zhen ro ji ji ne ja ya de chedin de cha yo ma re wa song zang zo jie 가르가 다 zorje gomje malhe ba chik zata che yore da luze zorje gomje malhe ba phaje ten sa da kantar lok che de wa na tene ten tartok cha ke yo mare songza dara de shanti dewa ke 돈담 로이 주요민 로네 군주비 임반도 소 돈담 바시바데 록 제요야 개요 말에서 록 주요 차요 말에 송요로와
칼레
Kale kamo masina zizi sonchang. Tanga ke pe junzi ke ngko mambo. Kare sina.
Chirang pe yakbo sungendo yene yangarang te sekaleka yorwa tini nga jokbo chirang nang shindo tukumendo kongta.
Mare da de kozo da tetsom de serta goyora da hiedi koranzo. Tetsom de de chani de ngara de tetsom yoba zui chani de ni pe chu gi na roto yo marwa. De ke semra ga tel lang yor. Da kare sina
See, yeah, chirang te delche yape yaboyore. Then yene yang te sekali sung gain tenang te joko sung na nga tenda te tre tukumendo ko tukumendo. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nga ta tsu de chono do.
Yeah.
Ngarang chu ta hi ting hya dang sa de ko so ta tren te cham ya go de yabo here wa.
Oh, that chirang pe yabo song song. Te changma te yangchar song na teni te tesa drona ke yomare samendo.
Ngarang chu ta pe na tang zo ting hya ta tru da ja andu ngarang chu gong ro ji zo ro. Ti ka su ngarang chu lo ji be zo ro ji ta dren ro ji ngdo wa. Ti ta dren ro ji de tang dia ji ya bo man ro ji de wa. Teni sem dia ko mi pa de la pha te ang go zo ngdo wa. Te ji tang ya bo ri de ya hyu de ma ri ji. Ben tong ba ni la pa lo te du ti tong ni lo te ya te ji tang ya bo ri de ya hyu de ma ri. Ina ta tru da ro de jan tang zo ko ke de pa ya ren yin de. Te pen so ro ngarang zo sem te chi ramwam ro chi ran yin ga ma hlu cha ro ka la ma ne yong yo ro pa bling chi ta ling ja ro ngal ran yin ne yong ro o ta ti lo te yang da ba cha de yo ris. Kai na ma ling ja ro ma ne ya te be chor ma je pe thon ko ran yin ramwap de ma chu hlu por char ne yong yo ba ke ton da de wa te yang da de cha de yo ri. Ta hi gang la tang zo de lo pa yo ka so ti lo de yang ya bo ri de yang da de ma ri si den da yin zang de ne lu ze zo ta lu ze zo gom je ma le par chi zo che yo re da de ne shanti dewa ke yang don dam lo ye ju yor mi si don dam ba de dong ba ni da mi ba don dam ba de lo ke ji yo ke yo ma ri si 동담 로에 주열매 주열제들 로케 지야 레야 요데바지 마리스 딜로 지야 레야 요데바도 참마 군접 레스 로네 군접 임반도스 루제 저 검지말 파트 다시 보차소에 다시 보면 자는 저 터서 저뭐래 산이 랍초로 산이 너니
네 레레 Lazo. Te shanti deva sungdi te kashe che songini yang oza dondam lo chuyu meba re ko song. Tene te chela te shanti deva song.
Lo ne kunzup imbarndus. Chirane te tsek den chapo wando jindo. Lo ne kunzup imbarndus. Nandung kare sina. Lo ke ya deba, lo ke ta deba, lo ke chi zu deba deso tsama kunzup re song re.
So when we meditate, so for instance, when the bell sounds to signal, a period of meditation, and it can be the case that, when we hear the sound of the bell, suddenly the mind, makes this effort or this focus toward meditation. We sort of prepare ourselves. We straighten our posture, we sit correctly, and we sort of zone in on the state of meditation. Sort of we focus or direct the mind intentionally to meditation. So this is good, but it isn't the best. And on the other hand, usually, so when we hear the sound of the bell, that is how we respond, by sort of intentionally creating sort of this direction or focus of the mind on what we are, the meditation. But as the sound of the bell, we hear the initial tongue, and then the sound sort of is sustained for a period and then slowly sort of dissipates or fades away. And as that occurs, then there is sometimes like an opening or relaxing that happens in the mind, and the mind just sort of settles into a natural abiding. It just sort of drops into a completely relaxed and uncontrived abiding. And this is really the best. When the meditation is without a concerted effort, when we're not fabricating or modifying the mind in any way, but the mind is just naturally settling. It's just naturally opening and dropping into an easeful awareness. And so the first approach, or the first sort of reaction to hearing the tongue of the bell, is also good, but it isn't the best. It isn't really what we could identify as really like perfected meditation. So as Shantideva says, the ultimate truth is beyond the objects of knowledge, or it is beyond the intellect. The completely the emptiness that is the wisdom of selflessness is completely beyond the intellect. As long as there is involvement from the intellect, then it becomes relative. It is within the domain of the relative truth. And so in order to when it comes to the ultimate truth, there is no manipulation on the part of the intellect. It is completely beyond the realm of the intellect.
Person Tambo Hyopani the Lap on the Debdo, Hyopa Deb, Laura to Hakora, Hyopa Deblan. Hyopa Deb. Teni pamper
flapping its wings, maybe.
Teni Dijinico pamperdi, Hyopa Debmagova, Koranjinke, pamper the door. Tena Yinke, Hyopa Tambo debate, Mazo Luzik goms dere, look, Jane. They didn't procure Jat Hyopa them the book as a perm procure in a manner of Karisina, Koteni Hyopa Demago Paranjinke, Hyopa there some Pernoyajidoa, Teta Hyopa dem got any Mandawa. Luzik gomzagitera, Newmark gomzagit in Mandawa, there, New he told in Jozit in Mandawa.
Yeah. So Khenpo says he has an example. He doesn't know if it's a perfect example, so he apologizes if it's not. But he was just now looking out the window, and he saw a bird flying. And so first, the bird was flapping its wings. So when a bird flies, first it flaps its wings, but once it sort of then gets going, then it just soars, and it doesn't need to exert the effort of flapping its wings. It just flies. It soars. With its wings spread wide. And so it is like that with the meditation. At first, we may direct the mind, we may make a concerted effort to meditate. But then when we settle in, there's no effort that is needed. It's just like the soaring of the bird that no longer has to flap its wings. It is just natural. It's completely, and so when we arrive arrive into this natural, completely natural abiding, it's different. It is different from that which is generated through effort.
May every being ailing with the disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Pama Zunjin Damje, De Don, Danger, Jang, and Ro Damje, Dodo, Don Arjo, Chanjo, Zamba, Ganda, Sajo, Dida Gunja, Molan, Rabarjo, Chanjo, Zanjo, Rambo, Jemaje, Panan, Jijer, Jiba, Nyamba, Meba, Gone, Gondon, Bewarjo. Thank you very much.